Welcome to another live stream, and today we are live for the last trading day. We are about 29 minutes to go, then we are closing a very interesting week of stock market. And as usual, let me know where are you watching from. And the question of the day is: how does the lockdown or quarantine in your city look like? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what you think, how the current situation looks like in your city. What is your opinion about it? Quickly here to Dubai, where we're streaming from. It's 11 p.m. on a Friday, 11:30 p.m. on a Friday, and Dubai quite did it very, very well in my personal opinion. Very early on, they made a huge lockdown that you couldn't go out of your house, at least for the most of the day. This was the first arrangement, and then it got a little bit stricter in terms of that you need to get the permission online. Dubai is very digitalized. Sorry that I have to fix my microphone here. And then you basically type in why you need the permission to leave your facility, and then obviously you get it within a few minutes. For example, you go to the supermarket, you have to go to work, all these things. There's a special list of essential businesses, and then you go out. And you can go out for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and then you come back, and then basically you should stay at home. So this was the regulations for about 1 month, and now we are free to leave our house between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. And it works quite well. I'm very happy. Dubai is very futuristic. They sanitized all the streets. They disinfected. Before every building you enter, you go to a disinfection spray house or small entrance, which is quite funny. And obviously everywhere is with mask and protection for your hands, so protection gloves. So very interesting, very forward looking. So I think it's one of the greatest cities to be in during these timings. And yeah, so I'm super happy how Dubai handled it. So welcome to the stream. As usual, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit that thumb up button with your synthesized thumb. Okay? Thank you very much. Today we have a very special topic. I thought, we take the topic of the market in general, the all-time highs that we are somehow approaching, but also we are approaching the trade war part 2, maybe not, who knows. But definitely interesting to see. When I saw the news, the first reaction that I had was similar to that. But obviously it's not fun when two of those biggest countries and economies are fighting again, because the last time it brought so much uncertainty into the market that stocks couldn't break out. And after this was settled, I remember, we had a huge rally for a couple of months, and it was absolutely fantastic. Let me just switch on the live. Let me just switch on the comments so I see what you guys are commenting, obviously, as well. I heard from some users that the notification is not working properly. So let me know, guys, in the comments if you get notified if I'm going live. So if not, make sure I figured out one of the reasons could be just go on my channel, go on the bell and deactivate it and reactivate it again, and then you might see again the notifications in your YouTube account. Okay, so I see here people from Singapore are here. So again, let me know where are you watching from and how is the situation currently in your city or country. So I want to dive into the main topic of the trade war, because the trade war is something that can become quite serious, and the New York Times just dropped this, that the Trump administration has issued new rules that will bar Huawei and its supplier from using American technology and software, a significant escalation and one that will likely inflame tensions with Beijing. Now, if you have watched my previous stream, my breaking news that I'm coming out every now and then during the day with some news or some opinions about something, then make sure that I talked about or I showed Twitter from a Chinese person who is the editor-in-chief for a big magazine. So his opinion about this, what he said in this tweet, is very important. So this is for that. This is my introduction into the topic, and also you see, and this is quite, let's say, supporting from the political side here. You see that Tom Cotton is the senator of, I think, Arkansas, and he said Chinese spy companies. So I really like how he emphasized that this is a spy company. So I'm very curious to know what the users in the set and the chat are going to say about this topic. But he says Chinese spy companies like Huawei undermine our export control rules in order to access advanced computer chips made in America. Made with American software and technology. I commend the administration for strengthening these rules. So, and the tweet that he was answering as commerce addresses Huawei's efforts to undermine entity lists, restriction products designed and produced with US technology. So quite interesting situation how this will play out. However, obviously this again would weightening on the market, guys. Okay, we have seen today, for example, Apple is going lower today. Now, as of this discussion, they are minus 0.86 percentage points, because then in one tweet of the editor-in-chief of this Chinese magazine said, if this really happening, if this course is the course that US will go, then China will come back with a big answer to restrict, punish, control US companies in China. So I'm very, very curious how this will play out. As you remember, Tesla's, for example, also in China, right? So maybe Tesla get also affected. But I think this will be on the level of computer businesses or tech businesses. So I'm very, very curious how this will further move on. So let's have a look. I see here Francisco Braganza Santos is asking, do you believe that Beyond Meat is going to crash in the next weeks? Now, this really depends. The overall setup is quite strong for Beyond Meat, right? Like, the earnings was great. The stock is still a lot of points away from the all-time high. And we have the situation that meat plants getting closed and meat get more expensive, so people maybe go for the alternative. Also big companies look maybe for the alternative. Hey, should we put a Beyond Meat burger into our portfolio? This is the question that the current big fast food restaurants are thinking about. And obviously now they have other bigger problems, but this will be the thinking. So slowly the infrastructure and the fundamental case for Beyond Meat is getting really strong. If they can hold these levels, I'm not sure, guys, because Beyond Meat obviously went highly up, and then we had the kind of bull run on the burger. And then we had, we can see maybe a Q2 downturn of the stock because they didn't give guidance. Maybe the Q2 will be, for all the companies out there, guys, not so good like some people are expecting, and bring these companies that went so great up for their down. So we have people from Lisboa, UK, Atlanta, our regular DRK. Then what else? There is a question, is it worth to buying Tesla before the battery day? Now, well, the battery day got just postponed and maybe split up into possible events. So one will be like a webcast, like a live stream next month, and then a live event with attendees in a couple of months. So we don't know yet what happens. So, but Tesla is not about one single event. It's about the overall story. So you should think about, are you convinced about the growth story of Tesla? And this is the question that you need to ask as investor. So let me know in the comments what you think, and I think this is the better question to ask. And if you are if you want to know more about Tesla, then I just did a vlog here that I posted a couple of hours ago about the Tesla, if this can be your only stock in your recession portfolio, which I think it can be, okay? But let's have a look into the market. So we see that the trade war can ignite from here. This is a very, very interesting thing. We have also Hugo just joined our member, guys, and he asking, do you think market will go sideways till Q2 earnings? I think no. I think, Hugo, we will go down. This is my personal opinion again. And this may be a good time for a disclaimer. I'm obviously not a financial advisor, and all of these informations are for education, information, and entertainment purpose only. But the markets are at one point that lots and lots of technical aspects are showing us, candle analysis, technical trading measures and methods. All of this are pointing that we having now like a point where from here we could go rather down, or it's like a bearish scenario, okay? It still can go sideways. It's more potential that it will go down, and it is much less potential that it can go much higher, okay? There's Fibonacci retracements in the S&P 500 and so on, but yeah, I think now the markets are settling down. We had the Q1 dust, and we saw that companies were beating those lower expectations, and then now everything is done. So I think now the market should slowly go a little bit down, which is good for us long-term investors, because then we can catch up those small, cheaper stocks. Like for example, for me, my next buy is already Virgin Galactic. I know this, guys. Maybe there's a video on my channel if you want to know about that. It's just $2 away from my starting price, where I start to build up this position. But more to that maybe over the weekend if you want to hear about that. I think that there's a couple more things to think about. And more data, economic data, shows us just it's ridiculous levels that we are in. Okay, so let's have a look on our Jerome Powell that, is very, very having much effort right now. He had a conference this week and apparently he didn't speak enough. So he is also on Sunday on 60 Minutes. Which will be quite interesting because this is like, I don't know if you know 60 Minutes, it's like an US-American big format that brings very important people like here, Jerome Powell, to a 60 Minutes interview where really hard questions are asked. So maybe we will know the one or the other answer to our new questions. This will be quite important, which new input we will get out of that. Then we talked about already of my latest vlog. This is also quite interesting, speaking about the Fed. So the Fed has multiple Feds around the USA, and I think this is the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. So this is the city of DRK, of one of our regular, if I'm not mistaken. So he should be now happy that we are quoting something from his city. And they came out with something that, what we see currently is that the economic data is getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, right? So what now everybody comes out is like with a new number that is even worse than someone else before said. And here we actually see that the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta said that actually they think that the GDP for Q2 could be minus 42%. And this is huge, guys. This is absolutely insane. If this happens, we for sure cannot hold those levels, okay? So this economic data came today as well. So I think that's quite interesting to see that more and more negative data is coming to the markets, and the markets slightly react to that. But I think maybe by next week we will start to see more and more stocks are getting lower. But let's see. That's just a technical analysis. I'm also not a big fan of purely technical analysis, as you might know, because you can read the chart up and down, and then comes a news that brings anyway everything out of control, right? So let's have a look what else we have here. This is also another thing that I wanted to show you. This is the Wilshire 500 total market full cap. So 5,000 different shares and companies together. As you can see, it goes up and up and up, and then we had a little bounce down. And on the other hand side, you see a very trailing industrial production index in blue. Okay, and you see that real world and the stock market is going a really different direction, guys. Okay, really different directions. There's no correlation right now here. I don't know why. I cannot imagine what could be the potential psychology behind that. Obviously there's like the stock market is it has so many dimensions that it could be that it's technicals, it's algorithms, it's people who thinking, this will be just short term, with all the health situation. So many things could inflect, but also the money that is coming in, it's unprecedented. And I'm just I think sometimes I'm just looking like that, looking for answers that I cannot find. So sorry for that I cannot answer all the questions, but nobody can tell us the future of the stock market, but it seems to be now not related that much anymore of the real market out there, okay? The real street. However, I wanted to show you something that is quite maybe potential to invest, guys. So usually when we have those crises, gold price is going up. And not only that, this is crisis based, okay? Because people are afraid, they want to have something, an asset that is worth over thousands and thousands of years, and obviously this is gold. However, we also see usually when unemployment goes down, that also many people are going into gold, because also very much uncertainty what happens with the money that we own. Will it be something worth? Let's go a little bit in gold. So gold prices are going up. Unfortunately or fortunately, the price is not that high as of this moment, okay? So it's not really trading with the overall market, so maybe there is an untapped potential into the gold price there. I'm not a gold trader, to be honest, but for those who are or would consider, maybe something interesting out there to look into for you guys. So I will definitely keep this up and see if this statement is clear. And Hugo is asking, and this is what I want to go into also, what's your opinion on Bitcoin? I think the Bitcoin is an interesting asset, and with the push into digitalization, it's ever more interesting assets for some people, and therefore if more people are interested, the price go higher, right? Moreover, there's obviously the scarcity that went into the Bitcoin right now. Just a couple of days ago, we had the Bitcoin halving. For those who are not familiar with that, this means that the miners who are producing the Bitcoin are getting half of the Bitcoins that they usually get. So there's not more Bitcoins, or not that much, or 50% less Bitcoins coming into the market. Obviously, this brings them the price usually up, right? If there's less and less of offers of the market, their normal market correlation. So I think it's quite interesting. I think the billionaire Powell, which we covered here, also said that Bitcoin is quite interesting. So I think, if you put something in Bitcoin, it's definitely something to diversify, and could definitely go higher than it is. I think now it's about $8,000 or $9,000. I think it definitely can go up to back to 20, 30, 40, 50 levels, so definitely potential there, a lot of potential. I think there's a lot of people that are trusting Bitcoin, that are thinking that is a good asset, and it's the digital gold. So also we should see, maybe together with gold going up, maybe also Bitcoin coming up. On the other side, I also saw a lot and lots of correlation of Bitcoin and the market. So I saw, for example, the market went down, and the Bitcoin as digital gold should maybe go up, right? Because it's like a safe haven, like gold would be. But this didn't happen, which for me was always a sign, okay, it's still a very young asset, and it's very volatile as well. So yeah, this is my 2 cents for Bitcoin. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a unbelievable great start in the weekend, and we are back tomorrow. Thank you very much, and don't forget to thumb up for the YouTube algorithm, and I see you in just a couple of hours.